Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be covering the legendary that is being added to the Tag Team 3v3 Arena Bazaar shop. We're going to cover the legendary that it is, and we're going to talk about if it is worth it, how much it's going to cost, and give you a full reveal and everything you need to know. So let's get into it. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and dive right into it without further ado. This is what it is going to look like in game when it goes live. So as you can see here, Drexthar Blood Twin is going to be the legendary that pops up in the shop to purchase with gold bars. And the way this is gonna work, you can see here that is 360 gold bars to get one fragment to summon the Drexthar Blood Twin. Now, you need 100 fragments to summon via the fragment summoning mechanic in Raid. We saw them kind of soft launch this with a super easy, basically free-to-play event for summoning Horde, and I believe that was a test run for them to make sure the fragment summoning was going to work properly. And how it worked there was once you get 100 fragments to summon Horde, you can then get the Horde for free in the portal by going to fragment summon, and boom, you summon him when you have the fragments. So you can't see this here, let me put that away, but yeah, that's what it looked like here. You get the 100 fragments, then you click summon, and that is going to be added. We're going to add a Drexthar Blood Twin, and you're going to acquire those fragments from the Bazaar, 360 gold bars for one fragment, and you're going to have to do that 100 times. So if we do some simple math, that means you're going to be able to acquire Drexthar Blood Twin for 36,000 gold bars. And we're being told that the cooldown is going to be 1 day. So if you are super active in the 3v3 arena, you're acquiring gold bars at a pretty steady pace, you're going to be able to work towards Drexthar and acquire him in 100 days if you're really diligent about buying it at the same time every day on cooldown and you're farming those gold bars efficiently. Now, before we dive into a full discussion on what I think about this, if it's worth it, and grading Drexthar, letting you know if you should be going after this or not, I do have one more shot to show you here, and that is another in-game little teaser that we've been given to show the acquisition of when you click on him to buy him in the Bazaar. And one good thing about this is it is going to be available for all tiers. They're not locking this for only gold players. Bronze, silver, and gold are all going to be able to acquire the fragments of Drexthar for 360 gold bars no matter what rank you are in. So let's put that away and let's go have a discussion about Drexthar, because he is the featured legendary, the first featured legendary to be in the Bazaar. So we'll go into the index and we will go to Demon Spawn, and Drexthar is going to be this Force Affinity Demon Spawn legendary right up here. Now, in terms of base stats, pretty decent HP and defense. He is a defense scaling champion, so we really want to pay attention to the defense, but he does also get a little bit of a boost on the A1 with some attack, but you're not going to be stacking a bunch of attack on him. You're going to be going all defense, and whatever attack you get is totally fine and whatever, but we're definitely going to be building him as a defense type champion. And a defense type champion with 1400 defense and 19k HP, that's not bad in terms of base stats. The 97 base speed is a little bit low. I would like to see that be about 100 to 102, 103 or so for a legendary champion. So definitely not one of the faster legendaries in the game. But for the A1, we've got attack one enemy 3 times, so a 3-hitter A1, and then has a 30% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Heals the champion by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target is under an HP burn debuff. Now, this is going to be pretty good for your early to mid-game clan boss teams, and even into kind of the early stages of the end game. It is a very reliable 3-hit A1 that places an HP burn, pretty reliable. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have like a 10% book chance or something. I think that would be good for him to add to the A1. 30% for a single target HP burn is a little bit low. I would like to see us get a buff chance up to at least 40 or 50. And then for the A2, we've got an AoE that we can book to a 4-turn cooldown. The default is 5, with a 40% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, and we can get that booked up to a 60% chance. Now, it's AoE provoke, which is pretty solid in most areas of the game, anywhere except for the clan boss, but Again, the chance is a little bit low, especially for it being the one turn. With him being a legendary, I would like to see us be able to get that buff chance up a lot higher. There's legendaries that can provoke a lot better than this. And the kit synergizes a little bit weird because the A1 is single target and it's kind of a clan boss ability. But the A2 is AoE, and it's trash in the clan boss. So the kit is a little bit wonky in terms of how the A1 and the A2 synergize. Then we get to the passive, and we got a 55% chance of placing an HP burn debuff when hit. Now we can get the buff chance of this booked up all the way to 75%. So that one's pretty reliable, and if you use him against the clan boss, you're gonna have a pretty reliable and permanent HP burn. And then he's also got some self-sustain because he's gonna be able to heal 20% of damage inflicted. And then he also brings an aura of ally accuracy in all battles, which again can be pretty useful in the clan boss. So yeah, Drexthar is, I mean, he's okay. He can be decent in some situations, but definitely not an S tier legendary. Not the champion I would have chose for this personally, but I think I'm trying to go off the top of my head here. I would probably have chose somebody like a Skull Crusher. I would have made it a little bit cheaper and gone the Skull Crusher route. That's a champion that a lot of people would love to have in terms of getting counterattack on their account. He's for a faction that is really tough to progress in faction wars, and he's also going to help people progress in the clan boss without breaking the PvP meta if we're able to give him to a decent amount of the player base. So I would have started out our first champion in the Bazaar to be a little bit cheaper and easier and more realistic to acquire, and take like a less time frame of 100 days is pretty long. I would have definitely done a shorter time frame, started with Skull Crusher, and that's kind of the route that I would have gone just off the top of my head, thinking of the way that might have been a little bit better to implement it. But all in all, even though this is not structured how I would have done it, and I don't really agree with how this is implemented, it is a step in the right direction. It is cool that they're going to be adding fragments to more areas of the game, and looks like they're going to be adding fragment summons semi-consistently at least. I mean, they just did the Horden one, and now we're moving into the Drexthar one, adding it to a completely different area of the game. The Horden one was an event, and this is going to be in the tag team Bazaar shop. So I would like to see them keep adding these fragment summons. It is definitely a good addition to the game, but they've been doing... They did an underwhelming epic and then kind of an underwhelming legendary. Drexthar is not garbage. You can get some utility out of him in certain situations, and he'd be a decent champion for some early to mid-game situations, and even up into kind of brutal and nightmare for the clan boss and stuff, and maybe for your demon spawn team. He is a defense champion with self-sustain, so he's going to be decent in faction wars, but definitely not the caliber of legendary that I can really recommend. You gotta go after this guy. You gotta be active in the tag team arena. Use those gold bars on him. Like I'm not gonna be sitting here saying that and telling you to really chase this guy, but I do have a Drexthar. He guards my vault, but I am a pretty endgame player, and most of my dungeon teams and clan boss teams are pretty ironed out, so I don't want to trash a champion just because I don't use them personally. He would be a decent addition to a lot of early to mid-game rosters out there. He's just not an S-tier legendary. So yeah, let's back out and put a bow on this. Again, I will show you those images. So this is what it is going to look like in the Bazaar. You can see here the bronze tier unlocks it. And then this is what the fragment summon is going to look like. Now, my last reaction to this is I'm a little bit disappointed. I would have chose a different champion. I would have done a high impact epic champion or a slightly higher impact legendary champion, and I would have done a shorter time frame and maybe made it a little bit less of a cost. 100 days, 36,000 gold bars. That is pretty pricey and a pretty long time frame. That's kind of a grind for a champion that's kind of all right. So my general sentiment is that I'm a little bit disappointed, but it is encouraging that they're going to be doing these fragment summons more often and adding them into more areas of the game. So, hey, I would love to hear what you think. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that'll get you to care about getting gold bars, or if this is something you're going to go after in terms of acquiring Drexthar. I'm going to guess that if I did a poll, it would probably be about 85 to 90% of you are going to say that, nah, I'm not gonna really bother spending that many gold bars and that much time in terms of 100 days to go after this. So definitely a little bit disappointed, but it is a step in the right direction, and I hope that they continue to do these fragment summons and do it a little bit better next time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I always enjoy reading your input, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.